Welcome everybody to another episode of the Biryani Football Podcast. My name is Haraj, and this is my co-host, my dad. And it was a really fun week of football, and you got a lot of stuff to bring with you, and we're excited to share with you.
Right, that was a great week. We keep on saying this like a broken record, but this week truly was some exceptional games that we got to watch, and some. Again, looks like the playoff picture is shaping up very well, and the winners are going away. And there are some divisions where we will probably see new division winners after a long time, and we'll talk more about that. And so what games do you have in mind that you want to cover? Do you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. So first, I want to go over a very interesting game: the Seahawks versus Rams. I expected it to be a lot closer than it ended up being, but overall, the Seahawks defense played pretty well, and they had a lot of great stops for the Rams, but ultimately it just wasn't enough for the Seahawks to overcome that. I think it was 9-point deficit, so it just wasn't enough for them to overcome. And a big part of that was Sam Darnold's embarrassing play. I mean, there's been a lot of games this year where he has been playing good teams and he's been playing pretty good, but I think this is a game where he really had to prove himself to show that he can really play those elite teams. He's played good teams, but the Rams team is elite. They're one of the best in the whole league, and I don't think Sam Darnold showed people and gave people a lot of confidence heading into as we're approaching the playoffs. And even though the Seahawks will probably make the playoffs, I mean, I'll be surprised if they don't. Yep. This Seahawks team, they're going to have to improve a lot and maybe put less dependence on Sam Darnold. But other than that, I think the Seahawks played a good game. I mean, Kenneth Walker III, I mean, he is not playing as well as he should be. There are some moments where he's shining. I mean, he only had 67 rushing yards, and it was pretty disappointing watching him play. There's been so much hope for him coming ever since he's been drafted, and there's been some seasons like a few years ago where he's been playing good, but other than that, he's not been having the production that people expected out of him. And Sam Darnold's 4 interceptions really are highlighted when you see that the Seahawks had 15 more minutes of possession than the Rams, and they couldn't even come up with field goals because of those costly interceptions in the red zone in the middle of the field. It just ultimately cut their game short and cost them a win. And I think the Seahawks had a good shot at winning here if not for those interceptions. And kudos to the Rams. It's not all on Sam Darnold. The Rams defense played phenomenal, securing those 4 interceptions. And overall, it was a great play from the Rams. Matthew Stafford obviously had an amazing game. A lot of people that he trusts in are gone right now, but him being able to perform at that level is still very impressive. It's looking good for this Rams team. If I were them right now, I would be very excited.
So I'll tell you my perspective on this. Okay, my point of view. So Stafford was my fantasy quarterback, and the opponent who was playing me in our fantasy league had Jackson Dart as their quarterback, and he did not change him. I don't know, for whatever reason. So I thought it's going to be a walk in the park, but there he had somebody from Cardinals, the tight end got like 40 points or whatever. But the bottom line is it came to Stafford getting me 20 points for me to win the point. Nothing extraordinary for Stafford getting 20 fantasy points, but it was pedestrian. I mean, I didn't watch the game live, but I was following my fantasy score, and when I'm seeing the yards now, it's like 130 yards and 2 touchdowns, and that's it. So Stafford, you're one of my favorite quarterbacks, but you definitely ruined my fantasy game yesterday, despite of my opponent not having a quarterback. But yeah, I mean, to Virat's point, the total number of yards is almost double what the Rams had, 414 to 249 yards. And I think the big difference is the turnovers, like, the four interceptions, and looks like he threw mostly in the red zone, yeah. So I think that's the big difference. And, but I mean, let's talk about this a little bit, right? I mean, why do you think that Seahawks will be in playoffs? I mean, right now, Rams are running away with the division. So let's say, hypothetically speaking, NFC West is Rams, right? NFC East is Eagles. And those two are clear winners. NFC South, I don't know. I mean, if it's Bucks or Falcons or Panthers, I mean, it's like anybody's game now. I mean, we just thought a couple of weeks ago Bucks are running away with, so we don't know yet. But do you think two teams might be coming out of NFC South? No, right?
I think they will. I think
two teams from NFC South?
Yeah, I'm going to say 2 teams from NFC South. So here's my overall playoff.
Okay.
Yes. Eagles, Buccaneers are pretty much guaranteed.
I don't know about Buccaneers.
No, Buccaneers are pretty much guaranteed.
Okay,
right now. And then the rest is kind of up to debate.
All right. So who do you think? Who do you think? I mean, let's just.
Who's gonna win NFC North? Yeah. I'm gonna say Packers.
Packers are gonna win.
Barely, they're gonna barely win.
Okay. So four teams now. We
Yeah.
need to pick like three more, right? Is it eight teams this year or seven? Seven. Okay, three more.
So there's gonna be the Seahawks, like I mentioned.
What about 49ers?
49ers won't make it.
49ers they just put like 38 points yesterday.
Yeah, against like the Cardinals.
Yeah, but still.
No, the Cardinals aren't.
Okay, all right. I don't know about that. So you're saying that
they just have too many injuries on the.
Like Seahawks has more stock than 49ers right now?
Yes. That's not even.
Kyle Shanahan versus McDonald.
That's not even a crazy take because the Seahawks are just a more well-rounded team.
We'll see.
They have a better defense and a better offense right now. And then the rest is going to be, what's it called? Lions and Bears.
So three teams from NFC.
They're the best division in the whole NFL.
This doesn't make sense. I'm sorry. So two teams. So we have three slots out of four division winners. Two teams from NFC South. That means one from NFC South, right? And two from NFC North.
Three from NFC North.
No, but one is already there as a division leader.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't know if I agree with that. I think 49ers are going to make the playoffs.
There's no way.
Maybe Seahawks and 49ers, I can see that. But actually to put the entire stock in Seahawks, I'm not sure about that.
49ers will make
I guess we'll find out. Find out.
It's a guarantee they're not making it.
49ers?
Yeah.
McCaffrey's like playing lights out though.
I promise you they're not going to make it.
Okay, we'll see. What's the other game?
The other game is the Packers and Giants. It wasn't a fun game, but I just want to go over it for a couple reasons. I think the Packers are really on a slump right now. They're just not playing as well as they should be. There's so many things that are going wrong with their team. Miscues by Jordan Love. It's mostly on the offense. Their defense is playing pretty outstanding overall. They've been able to get a few sacks and turnovers, but their offense has just been very lackluster. And that's mostly coming from Jordan Love, who's been playing very inconsistently. I mean, ever since that Steelers game, it feels like everything's been going downhill for him. So I think there's so much to improve on for Jordan Love. He has to be more accurate, making better decisions, being able to move the ball better down the field. And sometimes he's doing that, but I feel like without Tucker Kraft, he's just not. Ever since Tucker Kraft went out with an injury, he just hasn't been able to move that ball that much and that well. And it's highlighted in the fact that the Giants were winning by like 10 points. And they were winning for most of the game, I'm pretty sure. Except for the last quarter. And it was a tight game. And it's even worse when you realize that when the Packers had the ball at 4 minutes and they scored a touchdown, the Giants got the ball back. And then they had to punt. The Packers got the ball and then they had to punt. And then the Giants got the ball again with only like a minute left, and they had to settle for a field goal, I think, or maybe they had to punt. And then the Packers, all they had to do was hold on to the ball for 1 minute, and they couldn't even do that. And then they gave the ball back right to the Giants. And if Jameis Winston hadn't threw that terrible interception at the last second, this game might have gone very differently. So the Packers got very lucky that game. They've just been not playing well. So many miscues and bad calls by Matt LaFleur. It's just very disappointing to see the Packers not playing the way that they should be, especially with the amount of talent that they have on this team and the amount of youth that they have on this team. And Jameis Winston, obviously he's Jameis Winston. You never know what's going to happen with him. But I think the Giants are definitely going to be able to get a high draft pick, and that's what they should be really aiming for, especially since they fired Brian Dable. They have to be looking for better draft picks right now. There's no point in continuing on the season trying to win games. And so I hope they're able to get a good draft pick. And as for the Packers, man, they really got to step it up because they're going to be playing a lot more teams from their division coming up soon, and it's going to be very rough for them if they keep playing like this.
Yeah, I mean, to quote Jerry Jones, the famous line from Jerry Jones, he said, like, stats are for losers. I mean, if I really look at this game, pretty much all the stats are against the Packers, but they still won. Time of possession, 35 minutes for Giants and 24 minutes for the Packers, and 36 yards, total yards for Giants versus 290 or 208, whatever, 296 for the Packers. Still, Giants. I mean, pretty much every single stat is against the Packers, but they still somehow figure out to win. Obviously, again, looks like, Giants blew another game having a late lead. So I don't know. I mean, Giants, I think they're done for this season. I mean, hot take, right? Everybody knows that already. But I think, we have to see how this unfolds. Funny story though. I just heard this. You probably, this James Winston, like, we got to pull out the dub, whatever. So the story behind, do you know that? Do you know it? So basically, like in New Orleans, you had this alphabet soup. Do you know those alphabet soups? Different alphabets in a soup. So like, we gotta scrape through the soup and we gotta get all the dubs in the soup. That was a backdrop. So you have to figure out to get all the dubs from the soup. And that's how his famous line thing, like, we gotta eat the dub today, came from. But he's a character. He's got a character. I like him. He's a free bird. He doesn't care. But I think they don't really have much to play for. And all their superstars are injured. Neighbors is gone. Scatterbo is gone. Jackson died. He's probably coming in a couple of weeks or whatever. I'm not sure. I don't even know if it's safe for him to play at this point. Might as well just give him the rest of the season off and then rebuild for the next season. And if they get, what do you think about this guy Joe Schoen? Do you think he should be gone, or do you think general manager?
I think. I don't know. There's been a lot of bad calls by the Giants in the last couple of years. They had they came out with a pretty good rookie class though in the last couple of years. So I don't know. I would give them another chance.
Because go ahead.
He's got Abdul Carter, Jackson Dars, Cam Scadaboo, Malik Neighbors. They've all been playing good. I mean, Jalen Hyatt a couple of years ago was a bust. I just feel like he's good at getting players, but he's not good at building them up and building a good system for them.
Because I came across this crazy contract number today. Eagles are paying Saquon Barkley $36 million, and Giants are paying Slayton. Is it Slayton, the wide receiver? Yeah, Slayton. There are too many Slays in the league. Slayton, $37 million. So I don't know. I mean, but to your point, I do agree. He drafted well. They got good players like, Neighbors and Dart. I think those guys, Carter, obviously, generational talent on the defensive side. So we'll see. All right, so I have few games on my side, and I would love to get Virat's take on AFC playoff picture as well. So, I have the Philly, how the defense set the tone, and Josh Allen stole the show in Buffalo, and Denver walked off KC to shake up the AFC West. So Lions, I mean, what happened? I don't know if you saw the game. Probably you didn't. I asked him to sleep early last night. But Lions were playing so bad. I mean, there's a point where you should be okay to go for fourth down, but if Campbell would have just scored, went for the field goals. I know there was a wind factor. We live close to Philly and there's a lot of wind. I get it. But going for every fourth down, that cost them the game. That's what I really think it is. He was too aggressive. That was number one. Number two is the Eagles defensive line made Goff's life miserable. And one thing I've always known since he was in the NFC West side of things with Goff is if you make his life miserable, he'll make poor choices. He can't throw the ball straight, whatever. And I think those are the two factors. And Jalen Carter, again, bunch of batted balls. I think he's really good at getting that. And one of these days, probably instead of batting, he'll catch the ball and run. I would love to see this big guy run across the field to get a touchdown. That'd be great. And the Lions managed only 9 points and failed on every fourth attempt. They couldn't convert even one. And Jalen Hurts rushing TD and Jake Elliott's 3 field goals sealed it. That's what they did. They were not flashy. The Eagles defense was not flashy at all. They did what they need to do because they know that their defense was really good, their Lions defense, because they really kept them in check. They made sure they converted whatever the Lions were giving them. Field goals, 3 field goals and a touchdown, boom, done. I think Jalen Hurts played efficiently, not over the top superstar flashy kind of a play. He made plays with his legs where he had to, and they won. Jared Goff was off his game, 14 out of 37, and like I said, Detroit left points on the board. And finally, I strongly believe defenses win championships. Offenses can win games for you, but at the end of the day, if you have a solid defense, I think it's telling. And one of the other crazy stats I'll also throw, Viraj, is the whole AJ Brown drama. I could see Hurts was trying to force the ball just to get the number of targets to AJ Brown, and I can see that Lions knew and they were very well prepared and they defended AJ Brown very well. I'll also throw one more crazy stat at you. The only game where the Eagles scored more than 35 points is the game where AJ Brown did not play this season. So I think this whole drama thing can add to what AJ Brown is doing, and I don't think it's a good thing for Eagles down the road.
And I think I heard something about AJ Brown was asked by the owner of the Eagles to stop going on social media so much.
Yeah, I mean, at least he's not reading the book on the sideline like last year. Do you want to add anything else, or?
Yeah, I think the Lions, it's sad watching them their fall from grace ever since that NFC divisional game last year. It's been very sad watching them. I don't think their season's over. It's not even nearly over, and it's just it was a hard game, and they managed to keep it pretty close. They only lost by a touchdown. So they managed to keep it pretty close, I guess. And the Lions defense overall did a good job containing the Eagles. So good kudos to them. And I just think, like you said, Jared Goff has to do a better job.
Yeah.
Make better choices, especially when he's throwing the ball and finding the open receiver. And I sometimes think that he takes a little bit too long to throw the ball.
Yeah.
And I like how Dan Campbell's very aggressive, but I think there's sometimes where he's trying to prove the world something, and then it ends up costing him.
Yeah, like last night.
Costing him the ball many times.
And especially with the Bears winning all these close games in their division. I mean, yesterday even they probably had a walk-off field goal one more game, and they are closing the gap with the Packers and the Lions, and Ben Johnson is doing a fantastic job with Caleb Williams, and I think they're it might be a three-team race for the division, and we'll see. I think the late end of the season is pretty well set with these divisional games. NFC North, AFC North, NFC West, at least these three for sure. Even NFC South probably, and AFC East as well. I mean, that's up in the air as well. So I mean, lot of divisional games. I know, Viraj, 8-9 years ago, the tail end pretty much were nonsense games. Nobody even cared to watch, and that's when NFL really made sure all the end of the season games were divisional, because it really mattered who is going to win the division. So I think that was a smart move by NFL. So yeah, the tail end is going to be, the later half of the season is going to be really good. The other game I want to quickly go through is the Broncos and Chiefs, 22-19. There's a new chief in town. His name is Bo Nix. He was so confident. I mean, again, it was a tight, obviously Chiefs, they're not going to just let people walk over you, right? I mean, it's a very tight game. But Will Ludd's last walk-off field goal pretty much won the game. And if you remember, it's obviously, I think they split the season, and the Chiefs actually won on a walk-off field goal. So it's the other way around now, and it was 2 home games, being split between these two. And Denver's hard stretch while dropping the Chiefs into a funk of close game losses. I mean, Chiefs never lost close games. Always figure out a way in the 2-minute drill or 30-second drills, whatever. Mahomes to Kelsey. I mean, we have seen that movie again and again and again, but not anymore. It looks like the magic is waning now. Kelsey's late TD gave Casey the lead, but their extra point was blocked, and those tiny margins, right? I mean, that makes a big difference. Like I said, Denver's confidence under Sean Payton and turnover penalty timing, definitely matters in this division, big games. And the defense, Broncos defense, came to play yesterday. I mean, they really made Mahomes' life miserable. I mean, if you see Andy, their coach, Andy Reid's play calling is very creative. He is somehow somebody just pops up. I mean, you always see Travis Kelsey open. You're how is he getting open? I mean, that's how creative his play calling is. But yesterday, I think the Broncos were well prepared to kind of really handle the Chiefs. You want to add anything else, Vin?
Yeah, the Chiefs have been playing pretty good, and I think they played good, especially against a great team like the Broncos. The Chiefs definitely handled themselves very well. I just think that the Broncos were a little bit too much for the Chiefs to overcome, and that last drive, like you said, really nailed the pin in the coffin. And I think the Chiefs, nothing bad for them. They proved that they can go against teams like the Broncos, and I literally can't tell if they're good or not until they're finally eliminated from the playoffs or losing the first round. But until then, I really can't say much as to whether the Chiefs are good or not.
Yeah.
But as for the Broncos, good for them. Bo Nix obviously is playing pretty good football from him, and it was an entertaining game to watch.
Yeah. Definitely. Absolutely. I mean, Sean, arguably the 3 best coaches, I don't want to say 3 best coaches, but top 10 coaches in NFL are in AFC West right now. Sean Payton, John Harbaugh, and Andy Reid. I mean, AFC West is rich in coaching. I mean, seasoned coaches. Right? So it's going to be very interesting. Let's jump to Bills and Buccaneers. What a game it was. It was very tight at some point. It was 32-32. It was anybody's game. But Josh Allen, being the Superman he is, he scored 6 total touchdowns, 3 passing and 3 rushing. And he also he had a insane record, which is like 75th rushing touchdown for a quarterback. I mean, that's crazy. And I think Cam Newton was tied to him at some point with 75 touchdowns as well. But he pretty much was the difference maker. They were just going back and forth. Allen finished with 317 passing yards, and Bills erupted for a season high 44 points to snap some recent offensive fuck. I mean, the whole Dolphins game was such a debacle, and it was crazy. Bucks ground game, that's what kept them in the game. If I were Bills fans, I would be really worried about the rushing defense because they rushed for 202 yards. Sean Tucker 106 yards, and that's what kept them in the game. Baker Mayfield, I always felt like one of the chinks in his armor is people can, because of his height, people can easily bat his passes, and that's what happened yesterday. He was not people just throwing up their hands and batting the passes bunch of times. And there are some really good throws, in the threading the needle kind of throws he did, but at the end of the day it was not enough because they had Josh Allen on the other side, and Bills defense was really good as well. But it was an entertaining game. It was a really entertaining game for Bucks to go from Florida to Buffalo and actually to show up and make it such a tight game before Josh Allen took over. That was really good. The special teams battle, that's what flipped the field position. Again, like I said, Tampa's run success was not enough for big plays from Allen. So again, Bills, but they're still number 2 in their division though. Well played Bucks, but you gotta win these big games if you want to be in the big league. So anything that you want to add?
Yeah, the Bills. At first, I was like, "What is Josh Allen doing?" Because he had 2 interceptions, and I was like, "Wow, I can't believe Josh Allen managed to come back from that." And he was playing very, very, very good football towards the end of that game, managing to overpower the Bucs defense, and it was just too much for them. And then at that point, I think the Bucs offense was also getting a little bit tired too, and they just weren't performing as well they had been the first probably 45 minutes of the game. So, yeah.
Yeah, all right, let's talk about AFC playoff race, Viraj. So, who are their division winners right now? Who are the clear division winners? Do we have any clear division winners?
Yeah, I would say the Broncos are running away with it.
Okay.
In the AFC West,
sure.
And definitely Colts.
South.
Colts are going to win
South
the
is the
South.
Colts.
AFC North, it's really anybody's game over there. It's between Steelers and Ravens. I'm going to say the Steelers just for now, but I don't know. The Steelers do have a very hard schedule coming up, so
there are 2 games with the Ravens too. So
Ravens, Bears, Bills.
Oh my gosh.
Terrible,
are you kidding me?
Terrible schedule for the Steelers, and even if they do come out on top, they have to pray that they don't get any injuries from those games. It's gonna be a hard week for the season for the Steelers going on from now, especially now with Aaron Rodgers injured. Who's gonna?
You think it's a good thing? No. As a Steelers fan, would you rather see Rudolph or Rodgers?
I'm gonna say Rudolph only because I think Rodgers kind of needs to see like the game from the sidelines, just understand what he's doing wrong. I think overall Aaron Rodgers.
He's a Hall of Famer. He doesn't have to be on the sidelines to know what he's doing wrong.
No, but I just feel like he needs to be humbled a little bit. He just I feel like he's being blinded by his own pride. I feel like every single time the camera cuts to him, he's always swearing at his teammates or something.
I don't think there's anything in this world to bring Aaron Rodgers' pride down. In all honesty.
Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like something needs to change, and maybe Mason Rudolph is that. I remember a couple years ago, Kenny Pickett. He got injured, and then they put Mason Rudolph in. Ever since then, that season worked out for them pretty well in the end, even though they ended up losing pretty bad to the Bills. Yeah. The season ended up working out pretty well for them in the end. So maybe Mason Rudolph can work his magic and bring the Steelers' momentum up, and then Aaron Rodgers can come back in. And there's so many points where Aaron Rodgers hasn't been the problem, but it's actually the defense. But as of recently, Aaron Rodgers has been playing very bad football. He's been missing a lot of throws, underthrowing and slamming it to the ground, missing deep throws to DK, and
I just don't think it's going to work out for Rodgers. And this is a hot take, but I really mean it. I've seen this coming, and we kind of discussed this before the season as well. The teams are figuring him out. usually, like, even with Flacco, we talked about this, couple of weeks ago, where, the teams don't know what to expect from a Flacco coming off the bench. But now everybody figured him out, and all he does is throw to the other team now. And same thing with Rodgers. Rodgers is a very smart player, Hall of Famer, no question about it. But his body is not the same. He's in his 40s, and O-line is patchy a little bit. The receivers are not like superstars. Metcalf is not. We talked about this last week as well. So, anyways, okay. So let's come back to the point. So, though you're saying AFC West is a clear winner, Broncos. AFC East.
Bills, or not Bills, Patriots.
Do you think Patriots are clear winners there? Patriots. AFC North.
For now, I'm gonna say Ravens.
I think it's Ravens. I mean, as a Steelers fan, it's hard to say it, but but at the same time, though, you cannot take it for granted that the Ravens are going to win all their games. Yeah. Just that doesn't happen in NFL. So every team is competitive.
They have won their last 4 games,
right?
Though,
and I don't see them winning every game.
They haven't played any hard teams yet, and I don't remember if they're playing any hard teams. I know that they're playing the Steelers twice, and other than that, I really don't know who they're playing.
Okay, we'll see.
So,
all right, so Ravens, just for the sake of it. AFC South is Colts. So we have 4 teams. 3
Chargers.
Chargers, absolutely, I agree.
Bills,
yes.
And Chargers, Bills, Chiefs, and Steelers.
Ooh. Few years ago, there were 3 teams from AFC North. You remember that? And I think we'll actually have AFC West is Chargers and Broncos. Okay. So the 5th team is Chargers, 6th team is the Bills, and the 7th team is from North, you think?
I'm gonna say Chiefs. I don't think the Steelers are gonna make the playoffs this year.
Yeah, I think it's going to be between Chiefs and Steelers.
Because I hate to say it, I don't think the Steelers are going to make the playoffs this year.
Maybe we need that. Steelers probably need that. Because I'm tired of this.
I'll take a high draft pick over making the playoffs and losing. So
yeah, there's a July 10th day for a coach. His name is Jeff Fisher. For all the old timers, but you guys,
I know who you're talking.
There used to be this guy, Jeff Fisher, and he used to always have this 7-9 actually. Sorry, 7-9. Or 9-7, something like that. Like they actually had a day after him because he was never good enough to kind of go over the hump. And Mike Tomlin is this 9-7 guy now. Maybe September 7th will be the Mike Tomlin day.
You mean 9-8?
Now 9-8?
Yeah.
I mean it was 9-7 until a couple years ago, right? 9-8, I guess. Yeah, 9-8. Just above 500, but that's it. Maybe September 8th will be the Mike Tomlin day now. But yeah, I mean that's the AFC. But it's gonna be fun. I mean this is where all the people who were hurt or come back. Will Howard, for example, the quarterback, is going to come back, and a lot of people who were hurt in the first half of the season, they're probably coming back towards the later half of the season. And all the guys who are who are winning, like the Rams and the Broncos and the Bills and the Patriots, they just hope that they don't have any more injuries, and Campbell will figure out how to kind of take a chill pill and not go for every 4th down. Come on, man. You have a good kicker. Trust him. Give him a shot. You don't have to score 50 points every single game. I know that's your attitude, but come on. Now it's not. It's no longer one team division in NFC North. But yeah. Anything else on that, Viraj? Any games that you're looking forward to in Week 12? Can't believe it's Week 12 already.
I'm gonna say there's the Colts game. That's gonna be a good one.
Who they playing?
I think it's Colts versus Chiefs. So that's a game to look out for.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably my game of the week.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen the schedule yet. I was just asking Viraj if he knew any games, but every game is good. And I think, it's going to be really interesting to see, what games are up there. And I see you wrote Bucks versus Rams there as well. That's going to be a good game, actually. That's a sneaky good game because Bucks are coming off of a loss, and that's going to be a really good game. They'll probably throw everything at Stafford to see, Todd Bowles, he knows how to bring his defense back. It's so underrated. I mean, I don't know why people don't talk about Bowles that much.
Yeah, I don't think he's a great a leader. He's a good coach, but I don't know if
he doesn't he's not rah kind of a coach, but he knows how to make his teams
Yeah, I just know. I've never seen him really how be a good leader of men type person.
We'll see. Anything else in mind? Alright guys, that's all we have for this week. Like our videos, share, and if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. We need more subscribers to keep this going, and enjoy the games.